Hi, I'm Eva from China. Welcome to my channel. I had a very interesting discussion with a friend about Russia's current embrace of the US and if they might team up against China and whether our export business to Russia would be significantly affected. One recent example is that Russia has implemented policy changes regarding vehicle imports, making it much more difficult to sell imported cars. This move is widely seen as targeting Chinese automobiles, as Chinese car sales in Russia have surged dramatically over the past 3 years. Well, I think that in the future, China-Russia relations won't be as strong as they were in the past 3 years, but they won't deteriorate drastically either. Trump is courting Russia, obviously, hoping that Russia will help contain China in the future. As for Russia, after 3 years of war, it is exhausted. Now that Trump is extending an olive branch, Russia is naturally willing to accept it. Putin has recently called out to the US, saying that Ukraine lacks rare earth minerals, while Russia has plenty, and he hopes to cooperate with the US in developing them. Some Chinese people are upset, saying that Russia has betrayed China, but such thinking is overly sensitive. Between China and Russia, neither is subordinate to the other. There's no such thing as betrayal. Moreover, Putin's statement might be a strategic move to prevent the US from heavily investing in Ukraine, as investment will imply a certain level of protection. If one day the US offers the right conditions for Russia to confront China, Russia wouldn't hesitate for a minute. If it hesitates even for a minute, it wouldn't be Russia. But can they really contain China by working together? That goal is likely very difficult to achieve. First, we need to ask, what is the foundation of China-Russia cooperation? Some might blurt out, it's because they both oppose the US. But that's completely wrong. Politics is built on interests. It's exactly like choosing between business partner A and business partner B, not because A is more upright or superior, but because working with A brings more profit. The foundation of China-Russia cooperation is the same, maximizing the interest of both. China and Russia have a complementary relationship. China is an industrial nation, while Russia is resource-rich. They benefit from each other. In contrast, the US and Russia are competitors. The US exports energy and so does Russia. The US exports grain and so does Russia. There are reports that US has agreed to lift sanctions on Russia, on the other hand, pressuring Europe, stating that Europe can only buy energy from the US. This means that the US-Russia cooperation will be very complicated. This is inevitable, especially since Trump has positioned oil and natural gas as core strategic priorities for the US. The US can't offer such conditions or incentives to Russia. It's quite certain that the scenario of Russia teaming up with the US to contain China won't happen. Second, China is now too powerful. Russia wouldn't even entertain such fantasies. Putin wouldn't even think about it. He's barely gaining the upper hand in Ukraine. How could he possibly face a country 100 times stronger? Moreover, it's unclear who will be in power in the US 4 years from now. If the political winds shift, Russia might have to dance to American steel again. Although Trump is full of promises and tells Putin, don't worry, the Democrats won't return in 4 years and I will still be in charge, Russia will definitely keep a backup plan and drive a hard bargain. They won't act without seeing tangible benefits. In the end, it all depends on one's own strength. If the gap between China and the US is too large and the US offers attractive enough conditions, the situation could become favorable for China. But I think the more likely scenario is that China will continue to dominate the manufacturing industry, close the gap in high-tech areas with the US, and see its overall strength grow globally. So to answer the question posed at the beginning, will China-Russia business be affected by Russia's shift in stance? As long as it's not a core strategic industry for major powers such as automobiles, AI, semiconductors, or energy, which are heavily influenced by policy, trade between the two countries will likely increase in most sectors.